On State of the Arts, we featured Swamp Gravy, the official folk life play of Georgia. Now celebrating its 15th season, Swamp Gravy has inspired a new generation of folk plays. One can be found in North Georgia at the Sautee Center.
We're a mixture of true stories from this area.
It's a very old kind of theater, or it harks back to it. It harks back to the first theater. It harks back where the people told stories for entertainment.
Well, the sheriff's out there.
Thousands and thousands of volunteer hours in collecting the stories, in transforming the space, in rehearsing the play for 8.5 weeks and performing it for another 3 weeks. Such an amazing cooperative effort.
With volunteers of all ages and sizes and races and shapes, and who give tremendous amounts of time to celebrate their community and the people of that community, those living there and those who've gone before us.
Turn the world around. And I've got a story, it's one we know so well. You tell me.
Swamp Gravy, the official folk life play of Georgia, has inspired a new generation of plays and playwrights.
There
are actually 5 plays in Georgia now based on the oral histories of the communities. And so it's just another step in really capturing our heritage and not letting it die. Swamp Gravy has revolutionized, or transformed maybe is a better word, the little town of Colquitt. We were a town that was absolutely dying, and we were trying to find some way to celebrate ourselves as a people. And so we decided to really do an oral history-based play. Colquitt has been transformed in the sense that the people are now proud of their heritage, they're proud of their community, there is a wonderful can-do spirit.
That spirit has also made its way to Northeast Georgia, where at the Sautee Center, visitors can enjoy the oral histories of 7 different counties.
Headwaters, Stories from a Goodly Portion of Beautiful Northeast Georgia, is a community performance, and that means that we gathered stories from White County, Habersham County, Banks County, Raven County, Lumpkin County, Hall County, and Stevens County, and there's nothing original on this planet, thank you very much. So I have stolen liberally from every source I could possibly steal from, and this show owes a great debt of thanks to the Swamp Gravy folks, especially in their early years when they were just figuring out what this means and what it is to do this kind of a performance.
Joe Carson, original author of the Swamp Gravy plays, has returned to help Headwaters find its roots.
I've learned a tremendous amount about working with people's stories to make them dramatic.
I'd say we are rich in water, but you might be wrong.
Most people have the capacity to tell stories. So if I can make narrative in some way dramatic, if I can figure some way to make narrative work on stage so that people can participate without doing something they don't know how to do. Not that I don't like having actors take my work and do it. Of course I do. It's wonderful. I like it a lot. But this means more. And it means more because it literally changes lives. It changes communities and it changes lives.
For me, and for my partners in crime here at the Sautee Community Association, part of the endeavor with this is to name what this place is. So for us here, this is about naming the character of this place and claiming what it means to live in Northeast Georgia.
Maybe it'll be a clear night.
The reason to live here is that it is beautiful, it is wild, and most importantly, that people band together in community efforts.
Efforts that inspired Headwaters co-author Jerry Grillo to share a very personal story.
It's a story about a project that happened at my home almost 2 years ago now. The project was done on behalf of my son who has cerebral palsy.
For any family, this has the potential to be a tragedy. And for the first couple of years, it was. And Jerry and Jane, his wife, who had been very active in this community, sort of disappeared to grapple with what it meant to have a child with profound disabilities.
We needed a lot of therapy, and that he thrives in the water. His physical therapy in the water takes him a long way. We were driving 20, 30 miles to a pool, and a friend of ours saw this and thought,
maybe there's a way to get him a hot tub, and found a hot tub that somebody was getting rid of.
And so they concocted this whole hot tub scheme on behalf of Joey and his therapy.
The real miracle is we got it all done in 48 hours and no one lost a finger or their mind.
I thought we were going to have a hot tub. It wound up we got a total redoing of the downstairs.
I'm working on a building for my Lord, for my Lord.
All, again, on behalf of my son, and a surprise to my wife, who came home had no idea that any of this was happening. It was a powerful experience, and really cemented the feeling that we were a part of this community.
Will there be a Headwaters after this year? Yes. It's too much work to do for only 9 performances once, number one, and the intent with this is to make something that's ongoing and lasting.
When you take stories from a place and then use the people that have relationship to the stories, you've got a symbiosis there that's just mind-boggling.
That milk jug lady.
As long as people like to tell their stories, the future of oral histories such as Swamp Gravy and Headwaters seems bright. The